set of experts are sitting up here on stage, our employer panel. And I'd like to introduce our moderator, Gurpreet Lail, with the President and CEO of Inserva. A little bit about Gurpreet. I've had the... I'm not going to say anything bad. I've had the pleasure of working with Gurpreet for about a year and a half right now, and it's honestly been really exciting and inspiring to watch how she's leading, the membership, the energy services membership towards what energy future is going to look like. Gurpreet has her own interesting pathway into the energy services sector. She is a lawyer by education, but her experience and her career includes more than 20 years in policy accomplishments and government advocacy across Western Canada and at national levels in progressive roles with the Fraser Institute, the Manning Centre, as the executive director of the Shock Trauma Air Rescue Society, better known as STARS, president and CEO of Big Brothers Big Sisters of Calgary, and then of course her current role within Inserva. Throughout her career, Gurpreet has been a staunch advocate for the Canadian energy sector and knows firsthand the kinds of positive contribution it makes to the Canadian economy. While at STARS, Gurpreet helped expand the foundation from just covering Alberta to covering 3 provinces across Western Canada, and in part due to working with Inserva on the Stars and Spurs Gala that has now raised more than $18 million for Stars across 27 years and counting. Gurpreet grew up and was educated in Alberta with a degree in political science from the University of Alberta. Isn't she amazing? A degree in law from the University of Alberta, and she resides here in Calgary with her husband and 2 children. And on that note, I will turn it over to her.
Thanks, Pat. Wow. With that introduction, I feel like I'm 70. Thank you so much, Pat. Thank you, Center for Newcomers, for hosting us here today. I'm really excited to be here. I'm one of the panelists. I'm really excited to be here. A little bit about Inserva. We are a trade association that represents energy services, supply, and manufacturing companies. And we help lobby and advocate on their behalf to all levels of government. We also provide networking opportunities, education, and outreach. And we're hoping that we're getting the message across to all stakeholders about energy and what our future looks like. So before I hand it over to the panelists, I think everybody here in the last few weeks should be hearing some things in the news about just transition or sustainable jobs. And there's a lot of back and forth going on between different headlines, different messages coming out. And I can honestly say that everybody in this room should take away the message that oil and gas is required to help us transform into any new form of energy. And the jobs that are here today in this sector are going to be here for at least 3 to 4 decades to come. So we're not going anywhere. And in order for us to work as a community, as an industry, in helping to get to net zero, we need jobs today. We need people today. We need talent like you guys today to help get us there into the future. So, with that said, I'm going to let the ladies introduce themselves here today. I've never just had a panel of women. This is fabulous. And the women patch is quite diverse. Just saying. So over to you, Cassidy.
Perfect, thank you so much. So my name is Cassidy Hammond. I'm a recruitment specialist with Precision Well Servicing. I'm based out of Atchison, which is just outside of Edmonton. We have a number of career opportunities available right now for entry level all the way to experienced drillers and operators. So we're looking for anybody with a construction or labor background, experience in trades, welders, we have pipe fitters, we have tried these roles in energy, and they're really enjoying it because of the career progression that we can offer. So that's a little bit about what Precision has to offer for you, and I'll pass it along here to Susie.
So after all this is said and done, we're going to be arm wrestling for people. Because we're going to continue to repeat what all will be the new oil patch. So Sandgel Energy Services. So again, we're looking for people that want to work out in the field, get that boots on the ground type of experience. We provide all the training. When you research all the different opportunities within the oil patch, there's so many, and it's so good to see that this sort of venue is actually occurring today. So, having that conversation with us, whether we're able to employ or not employ, but give you that guidance, start that networking for yourselves. I think that's basically the foundation for a lot of this, is just to start to understand from the oilfield services side of things what we do, how you can get in there, or at least find that direction to see where you can find an opportunity for yourself and where you can apply some skills and develop some skills, and then, like Gurpreet said, have a career, a lengthy career, because like you said, oil and gas is going to be here for quite a while, and especially in Alberta. So again, we're looking for people that are here for the long haul. So
Good afternoon. My name is Kim Lammering. I am the Director of Recruitment for Flint. I've been with the organization for 5.5 years. I have over 23 years experience in midstream oil and gas companies. So to elaborate what you said, oil and gas is here to stay. So to give you the type of volume that we recruited last year was over 2,000 people. 90% of what we hire today are skilled trades. We want entry level all the way up to, we'll be arm wrestling, pipe fitters, welders, skilled trades. The other 10% is we hire within our functions. We have human resources, hiring and recruitment. We have IT, we have supply chain, we have finance. So 2,000 people we hired. It was the largest turnaround and that we've ever done in all of Flint. We did 32 turnarounds. So we peaked in 1 month at 1,100. So just to kind of elaborate, it's say yes, take that chance. We have a lot of career training programs. We have an Emerald program. We can talk more about it. That it's free training. We want you to start off as a skilled trades at general labor. Why we say general is because you're going to want to possibly be indentured. So either in electrical, welding, mechanical, and we offer that. So we will indenture you. So yes, come chat with me. We need people.
Fabulous. Kim, before you get off the hot seat, can you explain what indenture means? Because we get it, but I don't know if everybody in the room gets it.
Indenture. Oh, indenturing. So you would start off as coming in as an entry level, general labor, supporting some of our skilled trades. So say you're wanting here, you're coming in and you're supporting the welders. What indenturing means is that you would be indentured into a trade. We would mentor you, coach you, teach you the trade that you are wanting to get into. We would expect you to go back to school. Now I understand that maybe some of you are thinking, wow, school, there's a cost. You would be very surprised at how many organizations will send you to school, pay for the training, and want you to come back to continue until you become a journey person. So some of the skilled trades are 3 years in school, some of them are 4. But you do go to school, then you have to come back and you have to work with us so we can do continuous mentoring and coaching with you. So again, we can talk more about it. There is a website, tradesecrets.org. That is a really good website to actually go and take a look at. But come chat with me, we can talk more about it. But to give you an idea, we indentured, we're talking general laborers going right into like new first years, over 225. So we do offer that as well. So we welcome you.
Fabulous. So, before I dive in, Inserva was part of another labor event held at the Genesis Center, and we had a lot of young people, a lot of newcomers coming in. And the first question everybody said was, well, I came from Pakistan with a certain degree, how do I put my degree to use? Or, I came from the Philippines, I have a lot of education, but I'm not getting any jobs. And what I'd like to say and inform everybody on is the oil patch or the energy sector, especially the service sector, is phenomenal for opportunity. And I can say that firsthand. We have a lot of members who are the CEOs today were started off at entry level 10 years ago. So I've had an opportunity to meet a lot of them and to say, okay, let's talk about your career projection. And people will start working on the oil field at rigs and as a drilling hand, and then move all the way up to become a senior executive or running the organization. And that is unheard of in a lot of industries, but within oil and gas, specifically to the service sector, that's commonality. And if you're like me and you want some change once in a while, you have different career paths as well that you take within an organization. So everybody here is talking about entry level. Let me tell you, you get the skill set, you get the experience. There's opportunities in a lot of companies to grow and go into different departments and continue on. So I didn't lie, did I, ladies? No. We're good? No. Okay. So I wanted to ask you, we have a lot of talk in the industry right now about labor shortages and the fact that we can't find enough people, we can't find skilled people. There's just not enough workers to go around right now. What kind of jobs are you looking for or hoping to fill in the near future?
For us in Essential Energy Services, so right now we're looking for Class 1 drivers. If you don't have a Class 1 driver but you have a valid Class 5 license, we will put you through MELT training, it's called. There is actually a government grant that us as employers will get money back, which is great. There are other opportunities for people that aren't employed that they can actually get their Class 1 license as well. Through some different programs through the province of Alberta as well as through the federal government. And we're just looking for individuals that aren't afraid to go outside, work in all extreme elements, whether it's the heat this past summer or the cold, and learn how to operate equipment, work well as a team, ask questions. That's the biggest thing I think when we talk about any type of career path or any type of opportunity we're looking at. If it's something new for you, safety, I think you can say that across the board for all of the organizations in oilfield services and in the industry itself, safety is number one. So again, accountability and responsibility as organizations, as employees, it's a part and parcel. But that's basically what we're looking for is individuals that want to come on in and learn something new, ask questions, be very cognizant of the fact that they're in a safety sensitive position. And not afraid to get dirty and be exhausted at the end of their shift, but be very well rewarded in the sense of accomplishing something for a hard day's work and from a financial perspective as well. So, was that perfect? Thank you. She's perfect. That's awesome.
It was perfect. And I'll just add to that, when we look at the energy services manufacturing sector, or the whole sector as a whole, I like to say, well, I took this from somebody else, so Chris Wright from Liberty, I'll give you credit. But he actually said, we're in the quality of life business. And that actually was an amazing statement for him to make because it's so true. What the energy sector does for Canadians as a whole is provide us with the quality of life that we are used to today. So being part of this industry just makes you feel that much better, that this is the business that we're in and we need more people to come join us so that this can continue on into the future. Wouldn't you agree, ladies? No.
Oh, 100%, yeah.
So speaking of quality of life business, and we look around this room and I see a diverse group of people in here, what would be your number one advice when everybody's applying, whether you're female or male or someone that's new to this country, on how to go about doing so if they don't know what a rig hand would be per se, or what a Class 1 driver's license looks like?
So the first place that I would tell you that you can look is Careers in Energy, who's actually here today with their VR sets. That's where I would go first. That's actually where I send all of my new hires that are brand new to oil and gas, because I like them to have that virtual reality to be able to see what it's actually like on the floor of a rig, because that is available there, rather than going out to site. And in terms of safety certificates, and getting out there into the industry, the best thing that you can do is have a positive attitude. That would be first and foremost. Anything that you can add to your resume, telling us about the types of experiences that you've had, any safety certificates that you've had in the past. If you have drilling experience, and even in other countries, we have a ton of people that have come from Iran and places, Dubai, like that, those kind of countries that they have some excellent experience. They have some new ideas for us too, because they've experienced, things that we maybe haven't. They've had the experience of working outside in the hot weather, which we have during the summer. So anything that you can provide us that gives us a really diverse understanding of your background, I would say that's number one. And having lots of safety certificates, because that's the next thing, is making sure that we're all performing our work safely so that we can go home at the end of the day. So that's good.
Perfect. Anybody else?
When we look at one thing that I'm so proud of working in our sector, but also working in Canada, is our diversity inclusion. Right? We are very much focused on everybody has an opportunity. We encourage it. We foster an inclusive and respectful work environment, whether it's working for one of us or working in construction or in pulp and paper. It's part of our DNA as in the energy sector. It has evolved over the years to be more inclusive and again from a safety perspective, right? So it's all about attitude and also respecting the fact that everybody has a background, everybody has a story, and when you come and work for an organization, making sure that you keep that in the back of your mind because you come with a story as well. So when you look at the people from different backgrounds, different gender, whatever the case may be, we all have a place in the workforce, and being open-minded that way, again, helps us all be successful.
So, Susie, thanks for touching on gender. When you look around this room, there's females in this audience, and hoping our male audience attendees will go home and tell female counterparts on what they've learned today. But what advice would you give when a female is trying to apply into the oil and gas sector? Because there's a lot of different understanding out there. It's not really a women's industry. You work with only men. It's too cold. Women aren't strong enough. Like, I've heard the gamut, and I'm asking this on purpose so we can quell some of this and actually encourage more females to enter this sector.
So I will take this one because I'm pretty passionate about it. So you guys are nice? No! All right, so back in 1991 when I started in the oil patch, I was the only female working amongst a number of men. And back then things were a lot different. I'm dating myself, but that's okay. The reality is, you don't have to prove yourself. You don't have to go above and beyond to prove because you're female. In fact, if anything, that's taking away from who you're truly being to yourself. Being a female in an industry that is male dominated, it is a challenge, but it's evolved over the years. And if you're coming in and you have the right work ethic and you have the right attitude, and the reality is those that you're working with should have the exact same attitude and the exact same work ethic. Any women that we employ, that's one of the first things I ask them is, why did you even pursue a career as a cementing operator? And they all say it's physical, it's good money, and the guys that I work with, they treat me like I'm their sister, right? I'll be honest, the guys treat me like I'm their mom, but that being said, I guess that's okay, not the grandma. But that being said, it's fun. And you don't have to go above and beyond, right? You have to respect your limits as well, being female, whether it's your strength, whether it's, it's like anything else. You can't push yourself to a point where it's unsafe. And people should respect that as well, that you're working with. So hopefully that addressed some of it.
Absolutely. Anybody else need something to add?
I took it. All right.
This is the benefit of having an all-female panel. Everybody's conciliatory to themselves. It's great. So now just switching gears a little bit. I don't even know if this is a question that the audience has, but it's a question that I like to make sure that everybody hears, especially if you're new to the country, new to the industry, new to the city. When it comes, there's so much talk about oil and gas jobs and people coming into the sector, and we talk about, you know what, when you come in, it's good money, it's hard work, but what does that exactly mean, that it's hard work but good money?
Go ahead. Come on, Kim. We'll spread the
So
love.
it's hard work. I mean, I think what people think is that, okay, I got to climb up the ladder. But I can tell you that, take some of those risks. It's hard work. It's gratifying. But the number of people that we have in our organization that has started out as a green hand, very new, has worked their way up to area managers, to CEOs, to our vice president. Folks that have started digging ditches are now running our organization. That, to me, I get goosebumps. When I started off as a recruitment specialist, recruiting laborers. I now have grown in the industry, a female, and I'm director of recruitment, have 23 people on my team. I promote from within, and what we're really promoting this year is organic growth. For every one person that we hire, we lose 3 because they're retiring. So work hard. There is so much room for growth, and for everybody that's retiring, we need newcomers. We need new people into our organization to help us grow. So it is hard work, but it is so self-fulfilling and so gratifying. And it's proud to be working with some of these individuals that were an estimator and now is my COO, which is Chief Operating Officer. So.
Yeah, I guess I can touch on that a little bit too, because a lot of our executive suite as well has started their career on service rigs. So our VP of oil, of the well servicing division, actually, he started out in the field as a floor hand, probably back in the 80s, and he worked in the field for probably about 30 years, and now he's sitting here in Calgary in a beautiful high-rise in his amazing office with these incredible views. And it was because he was able to build his way up. He always had a positive attitude. That attitude and the way that he can even bring us newcomers into the industry, it's really changing the culture out there too, because we all have these aspirations and goals, and seeing somebody up top that has been able to do that successfully, it just trickles down, and we all want that for us, and we're excited to help others to build that for them too.
Fantastic. So, if we look at geography, and we're sitting in Calgary, but when you look at jobs, where are you guys looking to hire?
So, from a geographical footprint, oil and gas is across the Western Canadian Sedimentary Basin, right? So you're looking from Manitoba up to northeastern British Columbia. So for us, we have a very large geographical footprint, so Alberta is our main stakeholder, I guess is the best way to put it, but we do have locations in Saskatchewan and northeastern BC. Mind you, our equipment's on wheels, so we will travel, but wherever the drilling activity is, we're not just focused on the oil sands projects up by Fort Mac, but we're spread out across a whole bunch of different areas that the production companies like CNRL, Synovus, InPlay, all those companies are focused in. So we do expect people to be able to go to location, to be able to go to their assigned district and get themselves there. And we're fortunate enough right now in our organization to provide accommodations and help out from a travel perspective, from financial burden that might cause as well. So yeah, from looking at it from a Canadian footprint, out here in the Western provinces is where we're mainly focused.
Just to clarify, when you say you're willing to help with travel and accommodations, what does that mean?
So most of our districts have housing, staff housing, when you're on rotation. So we work a 15-day on, 6-day off rotation. So individuals will be able to stay in that staff housing. If you are commuting yourself to locations, say you're from Calgary and you're going up to Lac-La-Biche, we do provide a travel allowance for you so that it can offset the mileage that you're incurring to go to location. Some folks actually are from Ontario and from out east, Nova Scotia and Newfoundland, so they'll fly back and forth. They're on a different rotation. They're on 21 days, 14 days off. And we will provide them, again, a travel allowance to offset the cost of flights for them. And in some cases, we will be able to pick them up at, say, for example, Edmonton, and bring them to their district as well. So we have that flexibility, which is great, just because we have that demand as well. So kind of the whole package, I guess, is the best way to put it.
No, it's perfect. I wanted to make sure that we could explain that to everybody in our room. And if you are looking to get into the sector, all companies have their own policies. So encourage you to dive in. Like Susie touched on it, some companies have rotations of 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off. Others are 15 days on, 6 days off. So do some research because it does vary company to company. And I would say we've got members that are across Canada. So a lot of our manufacturing members are located out east, so in Ontario. And then we've got members that are in BC, Saskatchewan, and Manitoba. So they're actually all across the board. So if this is an industry that you want to grow and you want to say, I want to move somewhere, this is the place to be. I can't stop saying that enough. So when we touched a little bit about compensation and some of the jobs available, but if I look around the room and say we leave here, what advice would you give someone to get their foot in the door? And especially people that, if you look at someone that's got an engineering degree from a different country, but they need to get in, we don't have engineering jobs right away, but what would you recommend that they do?
Come and apply. There's tons of transferable skills. So I just spoke to a gentleman that is a project coordinator, has an MBA. We offer management training program, so we're hiring for that. Say yes, take some risks, ask the questions, but there's so many transferable skills. Recently got off a plane, got in a cab, spoke to the taxi driver, and 2.5 months later, he's now employed because there's so many transferable skills. So do the research, ask the questions, give us a call. You can talk live to a recruiter, but to hire 2,000 people, we probably would be hiring 3/4 of you guys. There's so many transferable skills. So just do the research and ask questions, take risks, say yes. It's not about climbing the ladder. There's so many olive branches that you can move across as well.